Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive.
Always ready to dive in. What are we looking at today?
Today we're tackling something that might sound a little uh, dry at first. We're diving into the world of data management, but specifically for chemistry and biology.
So not your typical spreadsheets and graphs, I'm guessing.
Definitely not. We're talking about managing information for like thousands upon thousands of chemical structures. Think way beyond what you could handle in Excel.
Sounds complex. So what sparked this deep dive? Did we stumble onto a new scientific paper or groundbreaking research?
Well, actually, it all started with this academic program I came across called Adroit DI. It's like a training program for scientists working with these massive data sets. And get this, they've highlighted a new tool that's making waves in the field.
Okay, I'm intrigued. So before we get to that, can you give us a sense of the scale we're talking about here? Just how much data are these scientists dealing with?
We're talking data sets with like 50,000 chemical structures. I mean, that's a lot of data to wrangle.
50,000. Yeah, spreadsheets wouldn't stand a chance. So why is it so important to manage this data effectively? What's at stake here?
Well, imagine you're a researcher trying to develop a new drug. You need to be able to search through all those structures, find specific molecules, and analyze their properties. It's like finding a needle in a haystack, but the haystack is made of microscopic images.
Right, so it's not just about storing the data, it's about being able to actually use it to make discoveries.
Exactly. And that's where all these specialized software tools come in. I was looking through the Adroit DI materials, and they mentioned a whole bunch of companies. Dotmatics, Chemaxon, Data Warrior, Schrodinger, Biovia, even familiar names like ChemDraw and Vortex. It's like a whole ecosystem.
Yeah, it's a pretty diverse landscape. Each of those companies offers different tools and platforms that cater to specific needs within the drug discovery process. Like Dotmatics is known for its comprehensive platforms that cover a lot of ground. They provide a whole suite of tools for managing data, analyzing it, and even collaborating with other researchers.
Wow, that sounds like a one-stop shop for drug discovery. What are the other ones? What are they known for?
Well, like Chemaxon, for instance, is really big on understanding the relationship between a chemical's structure and its properties. That's crucial if you're trying to predict how a drug might behave in the body.
So it's way more than just drawing pretty pictures of molecules.
Oh, absolutely. And, that's one of the key reasons why traditional tools like spreadsheets just aren't enough. A spreadsheet can't really understand the complexity of a chemical structure.
Okay, I'm starting to see the problem. So how do these specialized tools actually handle these structures differently?
It's all about how they store the information. They use a format called a structured data file, or SDF.
SDF. Got it.
Yeah.
But how is that different from like just saving an image of the molecule?
Think of it this way. An image is just a visual representation, but an SDF file is like a blueprint that encodes all the structural information of the molecule in a way that computers can understand. It tells you which atoms are connected to which, the types of bonds, even the three-dimensional arrangement.
So it's like translating the chemistry into a language that the software can work with.
Exactly. With an SDF, you can search for very specific structural elements within a molecule. Like you could search for all molecules in your database that have a particular ring structure, even if they look completely different in an image.
That's so cool. So you could sift through those 50,000 structures and find exactly what you're looking for without having to examine each one individually.
Exactly. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. These tools can do so much more in terms of analysis, visualization, and even predicting a molecule's properties.
This is really fascinating stuff. But I gotta admit, all this sophisticated software sounds expensive. Like, is this kind of technology only accessible to big pharma companies with massive budgets?
Well, that's what makes this new development so interesting. Remember the Adroit DI program I mentioned earlier? They were highlighting this tool called Repository Editor. And get this, they've just released a lower cost version.
Wait, really? That's awesome. What's the price point on that?
Only $10 per user per month. Can you believe that? And you can manage up to 50,000 structures with it.
Seriously, that's incredibly affordable,
Yeah.
especially compared to like the enterprise level software we were talking about earlier.
It is, and I think this could be a real game changer for smaller research groups, startups, even academic labs that might have been priced out of this kind of technology before.
Yeah, suddenly it opens up a whole world of possibilities.
Yeah.
Do you think this reflects a broader trend in the field? Like, is scientific data management becoming more accessible in general?
I think it definitely is. We're seeing a push towards more user-friendly interfaces, cloud-based platforms, and yes, more affordable pricing models.
That's really exciting. It's like democratizing access to these powerful tools, empowering more researchers to make groundbreaking discoveries.
Precisely. And who knows what kind of breakthroughs this will lead to.
Amazing. So as we wrap up our deep dive into this data-filled world, any parting thoughts for our listeners who might be feeling a little overwhelmed by all this?
I'd say don't be intimidated. There are so many resources available now, from online tutorials to training programs like the one we mentioned.
Great point. And remember, even seasoned scientists are constantly learning and adapting to new technologies. So embrace the challenge and explore the possibilities.
Absolutely. And keep an eye on how these tools continue to evolve. What we're seeing today is just the beginning.
It's true. Who knows what the future holds? Maybe we'll be back for another deep dive on this topic in a year or two and be completely blown away by the advancements.
I wouldn't be surprised.
All right, that's a wrap for today. And for our listeners, if you're curious to learn more, definitely check out some of the companies and concepts we mentioned. There's a whole world of fascinating science waiting to be explored.
Happy exploring.
Until next time.